The Bible said the sons of Issachar, they understood times and seasons, and because of that, they were masters of their generation. They became masters of their brethren. So, look, you may have money, but you need the sons of Issachar to tell you when to invest it. You may not have to farm, but you need the sons of Issachar to tell you when to sow your seed on the ground. You may have a girlfriend, but you need the sons of Issachar to tell you when to marry. You need them to tell you that this season is not good to enter into ministry. This season you have to wait. You need them to tell you that this season, do not go home, but stay in the church. So they were not just interpreting businesses, but they also interpret encounters. They can tell you when to meet God and when to go home. They tell you when to fast and when to expect God. That was what the sons of Issachar were doing because of their understanding of times and what? Seasons. So what I want to rob you into and what I wanted to invite you into this night is that I want to invite you into a reality that will make your ministration easy in the prophetic office. That will show you when to minister and when not to minister. It will tell you when to pray and when not to pray. So the code number 23, it is an alert. It alerts us of what to do at which particular time. It alerts you of when to pray and when to prophesy. So that time Ezekiel was standing there was the best time of prophetic words. It was the best time the man of God was supposed to prophesy. Yet, he needed God to tell him, man of God, prophesy. But he didn't need God. And the Lord said, prophesy and say, when you go further, it will say, prophesy and say to the four winds of the earth, all ye winds of the earth, bring bread. So the four winds of the earth are the carriers of that bread. The winds is not the life, but inside the winds is a bread. And that bread is life. So the wind is the carrier of the breath of God that gives life to the bones. Job 33 verses 4. The Spirit of God hath made me, and the breath of the Almighty gives me life. This is Elihu. This is Elihu speaking. He said, it is the Spirit of God that hath made me, but it is the breath of the Almighty that gives me what? Life. That is the Ruach we are talking about. The same breath that entered the dry bones in Ezekiel 37 was the same breath Elihu was talking about here in the book of Job. One of the things you need to authenticate your ministry is the breath of God. I preach on a sermon, the prophet without the breath of God, that you can prophesy with that breath. Whilst I was coming, I was listening to it. You can prophesy, and in that prophetic words, there is no breath found in that prophetic word. And whenever there's no breath found in that prophetic word you are giving, know that you are making noise and you are doing a vocal exercise. Nothing will happen, nothing will manifest, and no one shall be saved. Nothing will say. There will not be noise. There must be noise and a second when there is a breath found in the winds. So that is why a prophet must know when to prophesy. Do not go about prophesying, but you must know when to prophesy and when. Look, when you understand times and season, the season to prophesy and the season to keep quiet, it shall be said of you, like how it was said of Prophet Samuel. And God with the child Samuel, and none of his words fell to the ground. None of his words fell to the ground. So which means whenever you enter an environment, you must wait for you to be alerted by the prophetic code number 23. That is the code of wind or the code of Adam. When you are alerted by that code, it tells you that this is a season to prophesy. So at that season, you can now begin to speak life to dead marriages. You can begin to speak life to dead relationships. You can speak life to dead businesses. You can speak life to dead organs. And immediately you start speaking life, you see that those things that were dead begin to receive life one by one. They begin to receive life because you have been alerted by the Spirit of God that it is time to prophesy. So that alert may not come with an audible voice. There are many people, you will not hear the voice of God like how Ezekiel heard it, who was instructed by God to prophesy because he lacks the ability to discern and he lacks the ability to be alerted by the code of Adam. Adam, immediately God was walking into the garden. Adam knew because the winds carried the voice of God to Adam. It was the winds that carried God's voice to Adam. If God was not speaking, how did Adam hear the voice through the winds? The steps of the voice was heard by a man because he knows how to relate with the winds. And you should understand that at that time, Adam was not a fallen man. So the wind can come ahead of time and tell Adam, God is coming. I listened to a testimony about Pastor Chris Oyakanomi that one day God was coming to him and his corridor came to him and told him that God is coming. That Jesus Christ is what? Coming. It was his corridor. The corridor walked to him to alert him and to let him know Jesus is on the way. The corridor, that is a non-living thing, has the ability to discern and carry the waves of God. You should understand, how did he hear the corridor? You, the church have spoken to you about the coming of God, and yet you are sitting there fascinated. Now, the environment sometimes have tried to warn you and to inform you that God is coming, yet you lack the ability to discern if the environment is actually speaking to you. You don't even know whether it is the environment or anything, but he was alerting you of the coming of God. So Adam and Eve was there, and the wind that was blowing at the cool of the day, the breeze, they carried the voice of God to Adam and told Adam and Eve that God is on the way. The Bible said they hide themselves. It was then the Lord now said, Adam. That was where the first time we heard God spoke to Adam. When Adam fell, they heard his voice before he spoke. Even on his way to the garden, the winds, the Rauf, that is the bread that caused life to enter the dry bones in Ezekiel 37. That same bread carried the voice of God. He was not speaking, he was just walking, and the wind knows where he was going, know the destination, needed to go ahead of time and inform every creature that was there that the creator is coming. You have to get ready. So when they were now informed, they hid themselves. Why did they hide themselves? Because they were naked. How many of you are here that the wind have tried to alert you of what God is about to do, yet you could not discern it? That you are about to enter the church, and the entrance of the church was alerting you that he is here, and you don't even know that if he was there. On your way entering the church, you were even lying whilst entering. Meanwhile, the entrance, which is non-living thing, which do not carry the Spirit of God like you, was trying to alert you that God, he's here. He's here. Hey, the big man is here. He's here. You do not know. There are sometimes you enter an environment, and that environment is trying to alert you and let you know that the God, your Father, is here. But you don't even know. You are not even able to pick up those signals and those alerts. So what code number 23 does is that it alerts us of the presence of God in an environment and tell you what to do at that time. And whenever you are alert, you go on prophesying, knowing that the presence of God is there. It is time to create. So Ezekiel said, I prophesied as I was commanded. The guy was supposed to be alerted by the winds. So it was now God telling Ezekiel what to do with the winds. Prophesy unto the four winds of the earth. Tell them, all ye four winds of the earth, bring life. Let breath enter these bones. Some of you, even an alert of a prophet you are not hearing. How will you now hear an alert of a building? If a corridor is speaking to people, you need to understand that life is spiritual and you are lacking behind. Hear this. I enter the hotel room where I lodge. The bed I slept on. Immediately, I was sitting on that bed already. But after my rounds and all that, I was about to sleep between the hours of 2 a.m. thereabout. I lie down and I was about to let go of my spirit. And the bed informed me of the last person who slept there. Said the last person who used this bed is called Sonia and the man. So I needed to get up and cast a spirit before I sleep, because I could feel that the room was not free. There was a presence of another spirit. That is not my spirit. So if I now sleep, if I don't cast that spirit and sleep, I will have a dream, and that dream will not be my dream. It will be Sonia's dream. That will not be my dream. That will be Sonia's dream, because he's the last person who used the bed. And it's like once he left, one way or the other, there was a remain of her on that bed. So if I don't take that away and sleep just like that, I will have her dream. Many of you, you are dreaming people dreams. The dream you are having was not supposed to be your dream. It was supposed to be a Tanga dream, yet you had it. Because you sat here, the person who sat here and left. You can sit on my chair and see yourself in Dubai, and you are owning an estate in Dubai, and you recover and you are happy. It may not be your dream. It may be my dream. Maybe it is my dream you have dreamed. Look, spiritual things are spiritual. That you need to be spiritual to discern them. Okay. So I needed to drive her spirit away and now lie down, so that I can now have my dream, because I don't want to have somebody's dream, so that I may get up thinking that this dream I have was my dream, not knowing it was never my dream. I just lied on a bed that was used by another person whose spirit is stronger than mine. So he take advantage of my subconscious mind to give me a message, and that message was never my message. So that is why even the house you sleep inside, you can enter the house, lie down, and there is a neighbor who is next in your room. You begin to have to dream the dream of that neighbor. So as a prophet, the winds would take the lead, trying to alert you of the coming of Christ or of the presence of God. The winds will carry in them a message, and that message the winds will carry in them is a message that contains the breath of God, and that breath has the ability to give life. The corridors around your environment, the speakers, the chairs, the microphone, everything in the realm of a prophet is living. That is why Jonah was having the ability to speak to the fish and have the ability to speak to trees. Jesus looked at a fig tree and prophesied, and the fig tree heard the voice of the man. In your realm, everything is living, so anything can speak to you. So in code number 23, that is the code of Adam, we take advantage of the non-living things and the things that is around us to access the voice of God. At that realm, the wind can bring God's voice. At that realm, the trees can bring God's voice, because the Bible said it was a cool breeze that was blowing in the evening, and Adam heard the voice of God walking in the garden. How did you hear a voice that is walking? It was the wind that came ahead of time, informing Adam that God is on the way. Because at that time he was not falling, so everything in his realm was living, and everything he could interpret and interact with everything. Know that Jesus said the wind bloweth to and fro, and you do not know where it cometh from or where it is going. So when God is coming from the north, the wind will be here before God arrives, and you say, look, God is on the way. So it was the wind that brought the voice of God. So before God speak and Adam heard, he knows that he was on his way. How did he know? With that CCTV camera. How did he know? With that God sending somebody ahead of time to announce his presence. But he knew, he hid himself before he came. Know that God was announced by the four winds of the earth that carries the breath of God, and that is the ruach of God, the breath of God. It carries it to that realm and said, this is what is happening, and God is on his way. When you go back home, I challenge you, when you get back home, do not relate with your house as a non-living thing. Relate with everything around you like a living thing, and do not idolatrize anything. No, just allow God to use anything within your environment and communicate to you. Allow him communicate to you. Your bed, the bed you sleep on, should be able to tell you, tonight at 12 a.m., God will be coming here. So you should be praying. You should not be sleeping. There are sometimes the nightmare you have, it's not that somebody was actually following you, but the bed could discern the evil happenings in the environment. And the bed was warning you. You can't even see. If walls could have spoken, they would have told you things. If your windows was having voice, they would have told you things you never know about it. If the entrance of the house could have spoken, they would have told you that when you were absent, when you left the house, a spirit entered here. And this is the name of that spirit. So a spiritual man can leave the house and he's coming back and stop. He knows that there was a visitation to his home in his absence. Either an evil spirit or a good spirit visited that home in his absence. He will know. How will he know? Because as he's about to enter, the entrance will say, welcome back, sir. Why are you so physical? That even when you travel and come, you don't know what visited your room. You left that room for a week. You came back. You don't know who entered the room without opening the gate. How many people have access to this room?